Coming up on SBS-Tv News.
Restorative justice. How can circles help to heal? We visit a group of student leaders at Riley High School using circles to address needs and conflicts.
Holiday cheer. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Discover what our community and schools are doing to brighten the lives of many.
Special blend. Paying it forward one cup of coffee at a time. We learn how a Clay graduate is leaving her mark on an area neighborhood.
And on Sports Zone, I'll bring you the latest in high school winter sports, plus a big change in football leadership at one local university.
And mild temperatures throughout the weekend. We have the latest forecast.
All that and more up next.
From the SBS-TV studios at Riley High School, this is SBS-TV Student News, South Bend.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Isaiah Robinson from Riley High School.
And I'm Melanie Sanchez from John Adams High School.
It's hard to believe it's almost Christmas break. I've been waiting for this break for months.
Me too. But before we do that, let's take a look at our top stories. On November 30th, a mass shooting occurred at Oxford High School near Detroit, Michigan. 4 students were killed and 7 people were injured, including a teacher. The slain students were 17-year-old Madison Baldwin, 16-year-old Tate Meyer, 14-year-old Hannah St. Juliana, and 17-year-old Justin Sheeling. As word of the tragedy spread, a giant makeshift memorial was set up at the entrance to the school. A steady stream of mourners have left, everything from flowers and stuffed animals to Christmas wreaths and candles. Others, including South Bend Community Schools, left messages of comfort on a wall of support. Ethan Crumley, a 15-year-old sophomore who attended Oxford High School, has been charged as an adult for the shootings. His parents have been charged with involuntary manslaughter for failing to secure the handgun used in the shooting. Back here at home, Riley High School administrators emphasize that it's a joint effort between parents and schools to watch for warning signs.
Signs of depression, signs of agitation, signs of being frustrated. The one thing that I will always encourage parents and students to do is to build that open communication where there's dialogue between the both of them, where there's trust, there's transparency, there's honesty.
New developments. South Bend Community School Board members approved the School Resource Officer program. The move passed by a 4-3 vote Monday night. Several community members spoke against it at the meeting. Under the Memorandum of Understanding, school resource officers will remain in schools and receive training on things like implicit bias and school laws, and will not enforce school disciplinary measures.
We need our students, our employees, staff, visitors to be safe in our buildings and feel safe in our buildings. Keep in mind, this is an ongoing conversation, regardless of the vote.
School leaders held several community meetings about the School Resource Officer program leading up to Monday's vote.
Circles are another way that the school corporation is helping our students feel safe.
Mason Cuevas visited a group of student leaders at Riley High School who are using the new technique to bring the school community closer together.
Circles are one part of this big thing called restorative justice, and circles are the biggest part of communication in restorative justice. So whenever there needs to be community building or conflict resolution or something like that, a circle is the way we talk through that stuff. It's the way we communicate.
Restorative justice builds community, strengthens relationships, and solves problems. That's why here at Riley, they meet about once a week or more if needed.
If there's harm in that relationship, how do we repair that harm?
We always have like a topic, and it's usually every Tuesdays and Thursdays. The leaders of the homeroom classes, we've already done our training last year. We just did practice circles, and then so now every Tuesdays and Thursdays we go to our homeroom classroom and we lead circles, and we always have a topic that we talk about, and we sit in a circle and everyone just goes around with their talking piece and shares what they have to say about the topic that we have for that week.
I think people need to know that these circles are trying to strengthen young women and young men's minds so that they know how to have these hard conversations.
Students that have stepped up to the challenge, like Aya and Joseph, do their best to help their peers work on the strategies to talk out their problems with others.
What motivated me to start circles is I like to see change in the world, and I feel like it starts with us youth. We're the next generation, and if I don't get involved, then who will?
For SBS TV, I'm Mason Cuevas.
Did you know that drinking a cup of coffee could lead to owning a coffee shop?
Well, it did for a former Clay student. Daniel Rodriguez tells us how it happened.
The concept is just to bring community together. It's really not about the coffee here.
Ariel Newbill is the owner and manager of a pay-it-forward coffee shop named The Local Cup. In other words, there are no prices for the coffee. The customer decides how much to pay and can pay for someone else's cup. Volunteer Nora says the idea sometimes gets people flustered.
Some people, they feel very uncomfortable with the idea, so they just want me to tell them how much they can pay, and I'm like, I can't tell you that. You have to, think about it, because the fact that you can pay however much you want means that anybody can come in.
Running on donations can be difficult, but it has worked for the past 6 years.
It gets a little difficult when I have to pay everybody and run the shop, because some days we can make $50, some days we can make $500, and it totally depends on the people that come in here.
The pay it forward method isn't the only thing unique about this coffee shop. The Local Cup's beans are made here in South Bend, and the whipped cream and chocolate are made here on site, and it makes for a great cup of coffee. Newbill, who has created several drinks on the menu, started working at the Local Cup as a volunteer when she was 15. When the previous owners wanted to retire, Newbill couldn't watch the shop be closed down forever. So she offered to take over the place.
If this place were to close down forever, people would be devastated. So I just told them that I would take it over.
I like the community, the different types of people that come in here, because I never know who I'm going to see or what I'm going to get.
Newbill, now 21 years old, has been managing the business for a year now. She hopes to continue to serve the community one coffee at a time. For SBS-TV, I'm Daniel Rodriguez.
The Local Cup is open Friday through Sunday. For their current hours, you can visit their website.
Speaking of graduates, one Riley alumnus is standing tall, 30 feet tall to be exact. Former SBS-TV reporter Bernardo Malone appears in a new mural, which was recently revealed on the side of Davis Hall Broadcast Building at Vincennes University. Malone will graduate from Vincennes this month with a degree in broadcast journalism.
Coming up after the break, South Bend Schools and the Potawatomi Zoo provide some holiday cheer for the community.
And learn how one professor took inspiration from insects to create these helpful creepy crawlers.
Kid, want a nickel bag?
No!
10% of people who use marijuana regularly develop a mental dependency on it. 3,300 teens try marijuana for the first time every day. Visit drugabuse.gov for more information.
Welcome back. The Washington Panther Athletic Boosters held their 6th annual holiday Bazaar on December 4th after taking a year off due to COVID. The cafeteria was packed with vendors, including handcrafters and direct sale companies. There was a wide variety of unique items for holiday shoppers. The crafters were excited to share their talents.
And hope I can put a smile on people's faces when they come see me, and they can leave my space feeling good and happy. That's what I like to do.
Clay High School kicked off its annual season of service this past November with a winter clothing drive. The event, sponsored by Student Council, collected hats, gloves, mittens, and scarves to help those in the community stay warm this winter. Monetary contributions for the drive will be collected until December 16th. This December, the giving continues with a canned and dried goods drive. The donations will be turned into food baskets for those who might not otherwise have the funds for holiday feasts. Then in January, the students will collect blankets to help the community fight the cold. Over the years, Clay High School students have collected over 3 million items for 20 local charities, such as the Central Food Bank and Center for the Homeless. Monetary contributions for the drive will be collected until December 16th.
On Wednesday, Riley High School held its annual Orchestra Christmas concert, and the audience was eager to get into the spirit of the season. The concert featured some holiday classics, plus a little bit of Elton John.
The Potawatomi Zoo is celebrating a century in South Bend and is featuring the Gift of Lights every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday through December 19th. We visited Sunday night and the rain didn't dampen spirits or the stunning light displays throughout the zoo. Guests enjoyed hot chocolate and warm fires, a visit with Santa, and a lighted train ride around the park. While guests braved the chilly air, the animals, however, preferred the warmth of their enclosures. Admissions to the Gift of Lights is $11 for ages 15 and up, $6 for ages 3 to 14, and free for ages 2 and younger. Tickets can be bought at the gate or at pottawatomizoo.org/lights.
You might not find swarm robots under the Christmas tree, but the new kind of robots developed by a Notre Dame professor are sure to help the community, and far beyond in the future. Aaron Henderson got an exclusive look at the tiny robots that are packing a punch.
Robot engineer Yasmin Oskin Aden believes that nature can help design robots. Just like ants work together to carry a crumb of food, she created robots that work as a team to accomplish tasks.
They can connect together and they can form a rigid mechanism, as you can see, the longer robot, and they can walk together when there's an obstacle, they can pass.
By working together, swarm robots are able to accomplish more, such as walking up steps and maneuvering uneven terrain. That is important because the tasks that they will have to do will need them to navigate the real world.
You can see the legs are flexible, so when they hit the obstacle, they just bend and pass the obstacle. We can release these robots to the farm and they can collect data or they can search around if there's something wrong with the crops.
She also believes the swarm robots could be used for search and rescue operations. Yes, other robots work together, but these are different because they have legs instead of wheels and they're created in a 3D printer.
3D printers are perfect. You can quickly design or test your systems and you can quickly build a prototype.
Being able to print her own pieces means the robot can be made inexpensively, for about $300 a piece. It also cuts down on the wait time if she needs to modify or replace a broken piece.
Her work has been published in Science Robotics, and she hopes to improve the communication between the individual robots and the battery life. She hopes that one day all of her robots will be used to explore other planets. Reporting from Notre Dame, I'm Aaron Henderson, SBS-TV.
Thanks, Aaron. So, will the mild temperatures stick around?
Your forecast and winter sport highlights after the break.
Even though about 13% of people between the ages 12 and 17 experience cyberbullying, only 10% of victims have reported being bullied. Victims of cyberbullying are more likely to have suicidal behaviors and to have self-harmed. If you see cyberbullying, talk to a trusted adult or call 1-800-273-8255. Report cyberbullying. You could end up saving a life.
Taking a look at our weather video from Howard Park, you will see a mild day in store temperature-wise. Setup for the holiday market will soon be underway over at the park. It was a great day to walk the dog, but the weather may not hold. We started out the day at 47 degrees and will stay right about there for most of the day. Definitely warmer than usual for this time of year. You'll want to keep your umbrellas handy as rain will be developing later in the day. Winds picking up a bit at 15 miles per hour. Inside activities are in order this weekend. Tonight is going to be a wet one with rain and possible thunder, continue late until the evening. Low around 41. But with the rain and wind, it will feel cooler. Saturday's morning rain will turn into snow by the afternoon, which might work out better for all those holiday market goers. We'll start out the day at our warmest temperature with a high of 58 that will fall throughout the day to about 35 by sunset. Overnight will be clear but gusty with a low of 27. And a high of 40 on Sunday. But we've got good news. The sun will make a return with a very small chance for rain, which should help it to feel warmer. That does it for the weather. I'm Trinity Finnessy. Back to the news desk.
Thanks, Trinity. The weekend might be cooling off, but the winter sports are heating up.
Let's send things over to Cooper Ventries with SBS-TV Sports Zone.
You're entering the SBS-TV Sports Zone.
Hi, I'm Cooper Van Driesch, back with Sbs-Tv Sports Zone. The University of Notre Dame has found someone to lead their historic football program. Defensive coordinator Marcus Freeman was officially promoted on Friday, December 3rd, to become the 30th Dick Corbett head football coach at Notre Dame. Freeman becomes the third youngest college football coach in Division I SBS. In his press conference, he sent out a message to recruits saying that Notre Dame is a place to come win a national championship. Freeman is going to coach his first game on January 1st when Notre Dame takes on Oklahoma State in the Fiesta Bowl. Moving over to men's basketball at Notre Dame, Riley High School alumnus Blake Wesley is making his mark on the college stage. Blake has played in every game so far, scoring an average of 12.9 points per game. The men's basketball team will be back on the court on Saturday when they take on Kentucky at Purcell Pavilion at 5:15 p.m. Moving over to high school sports, on the girls' side of basketball, Adams has had a somewhat successful season so far, with their current record sitting at 4-4. For the Clay girls, they've been able to amass 2 victories this season with the close wins over both the teams they defeated. The Riley girls are on a rebuilding season after some tough losses. The Riley girls look to improve every time they take the court. And lastly, the Washington girls, the most dominant team in South Bend and one of the most dominant teams in the state. The Panthers are looking to top their state runner-up finish from last year and bring home a state championship. We caught up with the team after their dominant game with a 75-10 win over New Prairie.
I think we're at our highest that we've ever been. I think Skylar and their team, they had a pretty good run. I think, you know, we have something special. I think we can get our pictures on the other side of the wall. We've definitely changed some things, but we've kept some things. We're still playing super fast. We're super athletic, tall team. So we're playing fast. We get a lot of points. We've been one of our goals was to be the leading scorer in Indiana. So I think we were there. We were number 1. I don't know if we've moved, but we were up there. So we're a fast team.
And I know we've gotten national rankings and we've gotten high state rankings, and you know, people think highly of us. But I told them before the season started that people are going to rank us according to what we could be, and we're not there yet.
Additionally, head coach Steve Reynolds celebrating his 100th win as head Washington girls coach, following their win over Elkhart. Moving over to boys basketball, the Adams boys have won all their games this season, including a 1-point victory over Marquette Catholic. Both the Riley and Clay boys won their first game of the year, but have lost the past 2. The Riley boys are looking to defend their sectional title from last season. And closing out with the Washington boys, the team currently sits at 3-1, with their only loss come at the hands of Elkhart, making them so far in the early stages of the season the best performing boys basketball team. Additionally, last week, WHME came to Riley High School for their game of the week versus Marion. Isaiah Robinson was named the WHME and TCU Player of the Week. The Wildcats fought hard but came up just short in the end, falling to the Knights with a final score of 66-53. The Riley Wesleyan team is one of the best teams of the corporation. They kicked off their season at the end of November and have already showed their dominance. The team will take on rival Penn next Wednesday, December 15th, at home at 7 p.m. On the girls' side of swimming, the Adams girls had a huge win last week over defending city champions St. Joe. Diving helped secure the Eagles' victory as they outscored St. Joe in that event, just enough to give them the 97-88 victory. In an IHSA dual meet where a full lineup is being used, a team must score 93 points to secure a victory. On the boys' side of swimming, the Riley boys opened up their season last week, securing a dominant win over South Bend Clay. With their win last Thursday, it marks 40 seasons since South Bend Riley has been beat by South Bend School in swimming. Since then, the boys' swimming has become the most dominant and historic athletic program in the South Bend Community School Corporation. The Riley boys will be back in action on Tuesday when they take on Goshen away. On today's Athlete Spotlight, we're highlighting Adams senior Zach Caden, who has overcome obstacles to make his dreams in volleyball become reality. Andrew Messicar has the story.
I'm just about to leave. I will have my 2 bags packed up, one with clothes, and I bring my school bag for homework while I'm in the hotel. I'm about to leave here. I'm getting taken today for once, tournament night, so this is going to be fun.
How far would you go to get to practice? A mile? 10 miles? 100 miles? Try 300 miles 3 times a week, because for this John Adams senior, Zach Hayden, it's just another day.
Ever since I started playing volleyball, it's kind of just been my life. I think it's the only thing I have. My grandparents have been my main supporter, but really volleyball has been the only thing that I enjoy.
Zach's passion for volleyball has made him go to great lengths to compete.
The location, I mean, I'm in a part of northern Indiana where we have absolutely no volleyball. Even though we have the biggest boys club in the United States, we have definitely no volleyball up here north.
But traveling comes with a price, both in time and money. Fortunately, he has recently received a scholarship to North Park University in Chicago, Illinois.
Financials, not the most financially set, so having to work while doing this as well, just to be able to afford my car and afford going down to practice.
Zach says it's worth it because he has made lifelong friends.
Just the group of everyone I play with, experience of like teammates, even if you don't touch the ball, just hyping up your teammates.
Lastly, he has some words of encouragement.
You're gonna have a lot of people telling you that you can do it, and you're gonna have a lot of people telling me that you can't. Obviously, don't let that get you down.
For SBS-TV, I'm Andrew Messicard.
That's all for this edition of SBS-TV Sports Zone. But the SBCSC winter sports season is just starting, so stay with Sports Zone for all your latest South Bend Community School Corporation and Notre Dame sports updates. Back to you guys at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Cooper. Before we go, take a look at this. In the 80s and 90s, arcades were very popular places for students to pass the time. Now a local man has come up with a modern version of an arcade. Josh Holston has transformed 2 trailers into arcades full of bright lights, authentic sounds, and vintage games. Each setup offers 3,000 games such as Mortal Kombat, NBA Jam, Pac-Man, Crazy Taxi, and many more. You can often see the party trailers outside Notre Dame on game days. Holston says the trailers became especially popular for families to rent out during COVID.
I enjoy watching parents play the arcade games with their kids. I love to see the expression on the kids' face when I drop the gate and they're like, "What are these?"
People can rent these trailers throughout the Michiana area for birthday parties, weddings, tailgating, and more.
That's all for SBS TV News. Be sure to visit sbstvradio.org to learn more about our broadcast media program.
And tune in to our 24/7 radio station, WTL 91.7 FM, The Mix.
For all of us here at SBS TV, I'm Isaiah Robinson.
And I'm Melanie Sanchez. Thanks for joining us.